Controversial sentence for a Butte County prosecutor charged with driving under the influence.
Action News reporter Court Klopping joins us now from the Chico newsroom with why this case has been so closely followed and why many say the punishment does not fit the crime. Court?
That's right. The reaction to Rettelsberger's sentence has been one of confusion and anger, but defense attorney Denny Forlin said the verdict could have gone the same way for somebody from outside the legal system.
February 28th, Brent Rettelsberger was arrested for driving under the influence after crashing his car into a yard on Pence Road. He had passed out with his 2 young children in the back seat, his blood alcohol level 4 times the legal limit. Rettelsberger was sentenced this week to 30 days in jail. His defense attorney Denny Forlin says he may serve that time under house arrest.
People outside the court system have some issues with the results, because they believe that it is a smacks of favoritism.
But Forlin says he believes justice has been served. He says the sentence may seem light because his client has already taken several steps towards his own recovery by signing up for the Lawyers Assistance Program.
Weekly group meetings with a alcohol and drug counselor, with other professionals. He has to go to a number of AA meetings separate from that. He's subject to drug and alcohol testing, and he also has a case manager who basically acts as his probation officer.
But those who've lost loved ones in drunk driving accidents say the punishment does not fit the crime.
There is no sentence strong enough for a drunk driver.
Daryl Spessard has been educating the public on the dangers of driving under the influence since his daughter was killed by a drunk driver 6 years ago.
The most important thing was having his children in the car. That is totally unacceptable.
And Spessard says he wants Rettelsberger to understand what he did.
I want to make a personal invitation to Mr. Rettelsberger to come and work with me, the victims, the survivors, and other offenders, but come and work with me in prevention.
Rettelsberger was first charged with felony neglect for having his children in the car, but the judge reduced the charge to a misdemeanor after Rettelsberger started the Lawyers Assistance Program.
If he hadn't taken his steps, I would expect that the judge would not have reduced his case to a misdemeanor.
I spoke to District Attorney Mike Ramsey today. He said he did not want to comment on the sentence, but did say Rettelsberger is still on an unpaid absence. I'm Court Klopping live in the Chico newsroom.
Right, thank you, Court. A Shasta County woman will go to trial for the attempted murder of a 7-year-old boy. A Superior Court judge denied her attorney's motion to suppress evidence and dismiss the case. Action News reporter Elizabeth Gadley was in the courtroom today and has more on this decision.
Rachel Lamone's lawyer argued the search of her Ronda Road home was illegal because it was based on an anonymous tip and done without sufficient probable cause. But the judge disagreed after hearing from the sheriff's deputies who found the boy battered and bruised inside her home last December. 2 social workers also testified Friday. Deputies were responding to a tip called into Child Protective Services. In his ruling, the judge noted the initial report was made by a confidential informant, not an anonymous person. He also said, given the situation, deputies had more than enough cause to enter the home without a warrant. The boy suffered life-threatening injuries, including multiple fractures, burns, and severe internal injuries. 28-year-old Lamone was dating the boy's father and had legal custody of the child. According to an investigative report, she admitted to beating the boy out of revenge because she was angry with his biological mother. Rachel Lamone is charged with attempted murder, torture, and child abuse. Deputies say her brother, Gregory Lamone, initially tried to keep them out of the house and denied the child was there. He's charged with child abuse, being an accessory, and obstructing an officer. The 7-year-old spent several weeks in the hospital before being released into foster care. In Reading, I'm Elizabeth Gadley for Action News.
The Lamones are due to stand trial November 30th, but Rachel Lamone's attorney says he plans to seek a change of venue to get the trial moved out of Shasta County.
With the midterm elections just 18 days away, the Tea Party is gaining strength. A surprising new poll finds 33% of voters plan to support Republican backed by the anti-Washington Tea Party movement. Steve Handelsman has the details.
Big news on the Tea Party. 1/3 of voters now say they support the movement. I'm Steve Handelsman in Washington. The story is coming up next. The stunning news comes just months after the Tea Party emerged, demanding lower taxes and smaller government. Today's Seltzer poll finds 1/3 of all likely voters now support the Tea Party. A third. Tea Party heroine Sarah Palin last night.
No, enough is enough. We're going to get America back on the right track, back towards that exceptionalism that Ronald Reagan used to speak of.
An exceptional win would be to defeat Harry Reid. The Senate Democratic leader trails in some Nevada polls.
Man up, Harry Reid.
Tea Party Republican Sharon Angles hammering Reid on Nevada's 14% unemployment.
My job is to create jobs. What she's talking about is extreme.
It's not your job to create jobs. It's your job to create policies that create the confidence for the private sector.
That's the argument of Dino Rossi in Washington State, Marco Rubio in Florida, Rand Paul in Kentucky, Ken Buck in Colorado, John Racy in West Virginia, Joe Miller in Alaska. All Tea Party Senate candidates who could win. Tea Partier Christine O'Donnell is in trouble in Delaware. President Obama went today to put Democrat Chris Coons in Joe Biden's old seat.
And I understand that some of the excitement has faded since election night or inauguration day. Don't let them convince you that we have not made progress. We have made progress.
But the Obama agenda could stall. 33 Tea Party candidates have a good shot at winning House seats and helping take Republican control of Congress. Tea Party candidates are promising to pressure whoever controls Congress to roll back taxes, spending, government regulation, and health care reform. From Capitol Hill, I'm Steve Handelsman, NBC 24 Action News.
The hottest election issues in California is Proposition 19, which would legalize marijuana. Prop 19 would allow people over the age of 21 to possess and grow pot for personal use. Local governments would regulate it and could tax it. Supporters say treating marijuana more like alcohol would save millions of dollars. Opponents say it would cost more in the long run.
I just saw, working as a cop, that us keeping this drug illegal was making it easier for kids to actually access.
There are harmful effects, and there are social costs that come with marijuana and the treatment of marijuana. Costs similar to that society has to pay because of the legalization of tobacco and alcohol.
We'll hear more from both sides of Prop 19 Monday night when reporter Linda Watkins-Bennett kicks off a series of special reports on all 9 of the propositions on the California ballot. That's starting next week on Action News at 5. And the federal government will enforce its marijuana laws in California, even if the state's voters approve a ballot measure to legalize the drug. That vow comes from Attorney General Eric Holder in a letter to former chiefs of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. He says the Justice Department strongly opposes California's Prop 19.
With Halloween on its way, Chico police are doing everything they can to prevent out-of-towners from adding to the crowds. Action News reporter Lauren Hallaker joins us now with details about the upcoming holiday and efforts to prevent problems. Lauren?
Alan, Halloween is about 2 weekends away, and while most families are excited about trick-or-treating and pumpkin carving, the college crowd has other ideas in mind. Holiday weekends in Chico are notorious for their parties, but the problem is that they don't stay local. They attract many out-of-towners who do not have the same Chico pride as local residents. Chico Police Lieutenant Linda Dye says she's concerned about the upcoming Halloween weekend.
It's getting too big, and we need to have everyone work to try to keep it safe.
Local police encourage the town to keep it Chico on Halloween weekend because 50 to 75% of arrests during that weekend are out-of-towners. Even with 90 police officers, 6 horses, help from surrounding counties, and alcohol beverage control, the crowds get too big to handle.
As the crowds swell, it becomes impossible for us to guarantee anyone's safety on a night like Halloween.
Top Shelf Productions is a Chico party promoter that put out a Facebook event for the 3-day-long Halloween weekend. Within 4 days, 6,000 people clicked to attend the event. Police say this event is promoting Chico as a party destination for Halloween weekend. And although it seems like Top Shelf is recruiting out-of-towners to join the party, they say that's not so.
Out-of-towners are always a problem. I mean, they were going to come regardless of if we put up an event page or not. So I think it's better that there is an event page that kind of takes initiative of letting out-of-towners know what not to do when they come here.
As for Chico Police, Dye says they're not trying to ruin the fun, they're just working to ensure everyone's safe.
We want to see that type of a Halloween where everybody's safe and sane.
Chico Police are encouraging everyone celebrating Halloween to please drink responsibly. For Action News, I'm Lauren Hallaker.
Thank you for that report, Lauren. If you're a parent, chances are you've had to deal with a picky eater. It's something schools encounter every day. So the U.S. Department of Agriculture announced it's giving millions of dollars to food behavior scientists to figure out how to use psychology to get kids to eat better. They put it to the test today at a school in Virginia where they kept the vegetables completely hidden. On the lunch menu was queso dip and sloppy joes, but what the kids did not realize is they each contained hidden veggies like tomatoes, zucchini, cauliflower, carrots, sweet potatoes, squash, and beans, and they all loved it.
To see them actually licking things that had vegetables in them was amazing.
It's all part of a nationwide initiative to help kids make healthier choices. I love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's what's coming up next in your consumer news.
I'm Stacy Johnson. College, a great place to learn anything from chemistry to computer science. Unfortunately, though, not a place that gives classes on avoiding dumb money moves. Fortunately, however, I do. And it's just ahead on Money Talks News.
We'll explain why we have a cool down coming up in the forecast. Talk about how cool Sunday's going to be as well when Action News returns.